women are going under the knife to change their whole entire face.
Help me welcome Lea Roman, the founder of Mindful Soul and Beauty.
What I do is offer beauty therapy to my clients and a safe place for women to explore within themselves. Love yourself inside. Present that on the outside. Which celebrity do you look up to when it comes to their style? Give yourself permission to rest. Self-care is about loving yourself.
If you had one key takeaway,
Give yourself permission to be.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Blissy Experience. I'm your host, Ariana. This podcast is all about helping you get your best night's sleep ever. If you haven't had a chance yet, be sure to check out the Blissy Silk pillowcases. I'm telling you, once you experience silk, it's very difficult to go back. There are so many amazing benefits, both for your sleep and for your beauty routine. That's what we're going to really hone in on today with our guest. So please help me welcome Lea Roman. Welcome.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, I'm so excited to talk to you about your background, your expertise. It's genuinely so fascinating to me. So you are the founder of Mindful Soul and Beauty. Tell me about what you do and what you offer to your clients.
Well, what I do is offer beauty therapy to my clients. And what I mean by that is a safe place for women to explore within themselves and bring their inner beauty to the surface. And just giving them the empowerment, the skills to be able to do their hair, do their makeup, style themselves to find their signature style and feel good. Because a lot of times women are like, I don't know what to do, or, so I also do hair and makeup for women. So I have my clients to do that. And they're always saying, can I take you home? Can you do this? And I'm like, you can do it too. And so that's how I kind of built this, like to empower the women to take their beauty in their own hands.
And I love the phrase that you use on your website, which is outer beauty expression. And I love those three words all together. I think just pack such a punch because we talk a lot about inner beauty these days. I'm so glad that this has become so much more of a normalized conversation. But outer beauty, let's be honest, also it's okay to care about our outer beauty as well. And I love that you use the word expression in there too. What does that mean to you, outer beauty expression?
So that means it's an individualized experience for each woman. So what it is bringing who you truly are from the inside. Yes, love yourself inside and present that on the outside. Because when the inner and outer match up and it's authentic to who you are, that's a game changer. And so I remember during the pandemic, we were getting used to just wearing our sweats and not caring about how we look.
Oh, yeah.
But a lot of people were working from home. And I thought, you're still presenting yourself. You're on that Zoom meeting. Make that effort, because even though you're rolling from bed to your coffee table, you want to feel great. Because when you look great, you're going to feel great. And you just got to put those two things together. And there is no shame in that. And that's why I mentioned something on the website. The desire to feel beautiful is not vain.
I love that.
We why not? And I really believe in the authenticity of that for each individual person, because it looks different for each woman. So embrace that and really figure out who you are and align that with how you look.
Yeah. How would you describe the difference between vanity and authentic expression?
That's a good question. So I think vanity is for all the wrong reasons. So if you are obsessed with it, and I admit there's times on social media I will use a filter or two. I get it. But I don't necessarily think that's vain. But I think if you're only presenting that fakeness to the world and social media, to me, that's vanity. To be authentic. Now, was that your question? I can't.
Yeah, authentic expression.
So for the authentic expression is in alignment with who you are. And people can tell. We just do as human beings. We can tell when someone is being authentic or someone's being fake. And if you're authentic, you're more relatable. And
more trustworthy.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people will gravitate towards you. You're shining your own individual light. Then you're spreading that goodness into the world.
I always love the phrase that when you're being yourself, you're almost giving permission for others to be themselves.
Absolutely. And I have a 20-year-old daughter. And so it's like...
No, you don't.
Yes, I do.
What? You're lying. No, did you adopt her at 18?
Yes, I did. No, so as she grew up knowing, like the internet and social media and stuff like that. So I didn't know anything at the time for social media. I'm like, oh yeah, this is cool. But for a young person, it was I learned a lot. I had to fight a lot of battles for all that fake that was out there, So I had to teach my daughter, you got to don't believe all that stuff. Like you got to be you. And naturally you go through, it's tough when you're young and you want to impress everybody and you don't feel good enough. You're comparing yourself to social media. Adults do it too.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So I had a lot of work on that. And I wanted to also be an example for my daughter to just be true to who you are. Yes, it's fun to, put on the makeup and use that filter, but still be you. Like in here, the core of who you are, be you, and dress up the outside. That's the icing on the cake.
Well, and it sounds like too with the vanity versus expression, that vanity, to your point about being fake and kind of your intentions with it, I feel like vanity is more about other people and how they perceive us and wanting to impress or wanting to, kind of manipulate maybe the way that we feel like we're being perceived in the world. And expression is really just about like, hey, this is me. This is who I am. And I'm proud of that. I'm happy to be human and imperfect in that. And there's something I think so innately beautiful in that absolutely can never be achieved with fakeness.
Yes. And I got to tell you, there is a little trend. I don't know if it's going to keep going on, but I love it. I applaud it. There are some celebrities that are going out there without their makeup on.
Pamela Anderson. Yes.
I was obsessed. I had to keep finding all the pictures and I thought, oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
Yeah.
Being the woman that I want to be. So in that moment, and who knows, she may change again in a year or so. She's going to wear her makeup. It doesn't matter.
It could be tomorrow.
Exactly.
You wear makeup. Yeah.
She's being who she feels she is at this moment in time. How more authentic can you get than that?
And I also want to call out Alicia Keys, who did this years ago. I mean, I do understand the difference, being that Pamela Anderson at this age, I think it does take another level of boldness. Alicia Keys was obviously young at the time. But I feel like there is this natural draw and desire that we have as women to go out, without makeup and to see other, especially, celebrities, people we admire going out without makeup. It makes a real difference.
Yes, it really does. It's just, I think the word that came to mind when I saw this, when Pamela Anderson did it recently, was refreshing. And it kind of takes the pressure off, and it's like, hey, why can't I? And especially, again, like you're saying, a woman of her age, which in Hollywood, oh my gosh, even me in Hollywood at my age, I'm like a senior citizen. And so it's just like, gosh, like it is so sad that that's the perception. And it's probably never going to change. But when you have those women that shake it up a bit and they're standing tall and they're doing it, you are going to have those people that gravitate towards that. They're going to model that, and it will shift things a little bit.
I believe it does shape it. Yeah. I'm 36. As I've been watching the beauty industry since I became aware of it, like probably early teens, I started paying attention to the magazines and what was going on. And beauty standards have absolutely been shaped since that age. I remember seeing a lot of let's just say, like enhancements on the body and on the face. And these days you don't see as much of that. And I think a lot of that is due to advocacy, to those bold, brave moves, that kind of, maybe it's by a private citizen, maybe it's a celebrity. I think they kind of also influence each other, to be honest. But I think that there is a lot of empowerment in acknowledging that we absolutely, as individuals, as women, can shape the beauty industry.
Yes, we can. And like you're saying, it could just be an everyday person or a celebrity. But, when you actually surround yourself by like-minded women, then that also empowers everybody too. And you feel wonderful and you feel great. And that's one thing that I've learned in my life. And I always call myself a late bloomer because I got caught when I was in like my 20s and even into my 30s a little bit. I was caught up in all the beauty standards. I had to be this certain way. I mean, I'll tell you, I had the implants. Like I did that. And I had them for 5 years. And then I was all, what the heck? This isn't me. Honestly, it was such a crazy, I don't know. People ask like, why did you do that? Someone even did a short little documentary on my journey of that because of the removal portion, because it's like, whoa, you made this huge decision in the first place. And now why are you changing that? Why did you do it in the first place? I don't know. I honestly, even to this day, I try to think like, why did I didn't do it for happiness. I don't know. It was so, I still think about that a lot.
Well, but it just goes to show how subconscious these beauty standards can affect us.
Yes. A huge surgery, thousands of dollars. And then like 5 years later, as I evolved, it was in my 30s, I feel like I really started opening another level of consciousness. And
welcome
then
to our 30s.
Yeah, I agree. Right? Yeah, you do, right?
Absolutely.
I think it's so beautiful. And so changing that, and then I was like, whoa, that wasn't in alignment with me. And so then, boom, remove. And I'm like, I could not be happier. I can't, and to each their own. Whatever you got to do, if that's what you're doing for yourself. Right. For me, I can't even tell you. I don't even know why. I don't know if I did it for myself. I did it for, I don't know.
Right.
But all I know is the reason now why and where I am now is because I'm being authentic to myself. Yeah. This is my journey. This is how I feel. And then I'm being an example, again, for my daughter. And that's kind of example I want to set. Be authentic. And whatever that looks like to each individual is different.
Exactly. I think it's like you were saying earlier that it's really about alignment. Yeah. If your outer is aligned with the inner, then I think there comes such a peace with that and such a, comfort in our own skin, as they say. And I think we've all been in that place before. I know I've certainly, put on almost a costume in the past where I'm like, oh, this is what's in trend, or this is like what's sexy, or this is what's going to make me look appealing to whether it's men, women, others, whatever. And kind of the social currency that we believe is going to come with that, and therefore validation, and therefore self-worth. And we could go like so deep into this, but there's something about so beautiful about someone who you can tell is truly, like you said, living their authentic expression that is untouchable by trends, that's untouchable by capitalism, by, beauty influencers even. Right.
Yeah. They're stepping into their power, and that's huge. And that's so admirable because it's also scary. When you do that, people that you had in your circle will probably just go away. And so as long as you stand in your power and you know who you are and you have that confidence, then, you don't really need those people in your life.
Those crutches.
Yeah, they'll go on to their own journey and hopefully they find their way. But it's just... I really believe that it's fun to match the inside with the outside because come on, fashion and makeup and hair and all that, it is fun.
Absolutely. I love it.
Yeah. And then there are some that hate it because they don't get it. They don't know how, and they're always like, help me. Okay. And so that's where I come into the picture. I'm like, I will help you, but I'm going to help you to empower yourself. And, I give you permission because a lot of times I deal with women of all ages. And for some reason, there are women on the older spectrum to where they're like, it doesn't matter anymore. And I'm like, are you kidding me? It matters even more so now. Like, step into your power, embrace
whatever
who you
that
are.
Means to you.
Exactly. And it's like, You want short hair, you want long hair, like, whatever it is that you want, you can do it. You don't like to wear a lot of makeup, that's okay, but I can show you other things to feel good, because they are like, it doesn't matter, but yet they're saying it doesn't matter, but it really does, because they're not feeling totally confident and they're not happy. So I'm very happy that I think I had a woman in her 60s. She came to me for a session and she was there and she started crying. And it was it was beautiful, but my heart hurt for her too, but it kind of was a release for her, because a lot of times as women, we'll neglect ourselves and just forget. We think we're irrelevant when we reach a certain age.
Yeah.
And so this woman, I was like, no, this is your power. You have permission, like embrace that. She had a younger boyfriend, so that was bothering her too. She was going to go on a cruise and she's like, I don't know, how do I dress? You dress for your body type. Here, this is how you'll look, and this is how you'll feel confident. This is how you'll feel great. And
I love that you talk about kind of guiding through that exploration for self, that she will maybe try something on and say, like, do I feel great in this? And if the answer is no, scrap it. Yes. And if the answer is yes, hell yeah.
Yeah. And a little trick is, if you know your body type and you know your colors, it'll be easier to shop, because everything will look great on you. Because you know the colors that you wear, how you dress, your shape is, you're going to accentuate or hide or whatever it is, you're going to look great and you're going to have confidence. So, but you have to have that education on it. So that's what I do. I'll get all I pile everything together. I'll ask a woman, what is it that you're after? What do you want to achieve from your sessions? And and so then from there I compile everything, and they have access to me at all times. They have their videos, their worksheets, everything all tailored for them, and then boom, they could be empowered. And so I just love it. And in the very beginning, before I began Mindful Soul and Beauty, one thing I was playing around with, I called them Peace, Love, and Beauty workshops. So that was my first venture, was doing that. And the purpose of those was to have these workshops showing women, it was mostly celebrities, the pictures of without makeup and with makeup, because that's also where it begins. And we're talking about social media, is the comparisons. And so we're going to compare ourselves. And so I was like, no, we need workshops so I could show women, this is not real. This is photoshopped. And look at her without the makeup, it's totally fine. But I mean, social media, all that kind of stuff is really deceptive and it hurts women. So, but yeah, as long as you know and you have that power and you're confident within yourself and not comparing yourself, you'll make it. You'll be fine.
We're all humans. Yeah,
exactly.
I'm so curious what happened with the woman on the cruise.
Oh, well, so she did end up writing up a little review, and everything was great. She felt amazing. She felt powerful, empowered, and she had the time of her life. And it was actually, it was for her 60th birthday. And I think that's what scared her. She's like, 60 and I'm an old lady, no. So she went, she had a blast.
Wow.
And her younger boyfriend, he had a blast, like he loved her and he thought she looked gorgeous and beautiful. And so that's what happened to her. And that's what fills up my heart so much, is knowing when these women take action, because you have to take the action. I can't do it for you. I could, I'm kind of like guiding you and giving you the tools, but you have to use them.
Yeah.
And so if you use them, you apply them, you're going to have that success. And it may not be easy at first. Like for this client in particular, it kind of opened up probably like wounds that she had. And that's what was hard for her. You're facing certain things. You never realize it. Maybe when you were younger, someone always called you fat, or they always said you were, not good enough or whatever.
Or we were terrified of aging.
Yes. Oh gosh. Oh, aging. It's inevitable.
I, by the way, love, and we mentioned this on a podcast, I think a couple episodes ago, but changing our language and our mindset from anti-aging to pro-aging, and just supporting the aging process in a beautiful way. I'm so glad that we're shifting to that.
Thank you. Yeah, I remember, gosh, I don't know if it was a a post that I made. I can't remember what it was, but I remember saying, I hate anti-aging. That is a horrible phrase.
Totally.
We're all aging.
Yeah.
Just, and so I was like, okay, let's just age gracefully.
Yeah, exactly. Why fight it when we can support it? We can embrace it. We can empower ourselves with the tools and support and resources to be able to say, okay, how do I want to enter this next year of my life, this next decade of my life?
Yes, because it is inevitable. If we are lucky, we will get to that very older state, but you earned it.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful thing. I actually interviewed women of different ages. I think I interviewed 50-year-old, I did 60-year-old, and one woman was 79. And that was just for my own curiosity. I wanted to interview them and ask them about that phase in their life. How do they feel about aging? And how does it affect you? And I got to say, the one that stuck out to me, the 78-year-old, she's like, I don't give up. She's like, I don't care. I'm here. I earned every wrinkle that I have. And yes, and this woman, she's absolutely beautiful. She always dresses very nice. She takes care of herself. And yet she's still aging, and she is so happy about it. She goes, I don't care what anybody thinks. No. So that was really fun to hear. And there was another woman. She was in her 60s. I asked her about the aging process, and she was honest with me. She said, if I stand there and I stare at myself in the mirror, I will probably go crazy. She was like, because who I see isn't really who I am. Like she said, I still feel like I'm 25 years old on the inside, but it is the pressure of society for women in particular. You've got to keep looking a certain way forever, and it's so unrealistic. And then in these mid 2000s, we started having this certain group of people fixate on looks, and they changed the beauty standards in a crazy way. I mean, beauty standards, it's kind of upside down. And it flipped everything upside down, I should say. So women went crazy. Women are going under the knife to change their whole entire face, and that kind of stuff. I feel I can't. That kind of stuff is like, I do say to each their own. You could do what you got to do, but if you want to change the way you look to look like somebody else that you idolize, there is something else wrong there. And I wish that I could help those. I want to help everybody. Like, I don't feel like, oh, you don't deserve it. Oh, you think you're all that. You don't deserve it. There's always something under the surface with these kind of things, like with the extremities, when people go crazy on the other end of the spectrum. It's like there's something else. And I do feel like it's about self-worth and not being aligned with who you are. Although a lot of people could claim, yes, I am. See, I don't care what anybody says. I'm doing this for me. I am being authentic to myself. But no, as humans, we can tell. You can just tell. It's an unspoken thing. There's just feelings. And we know if someone is being authentic or not. And we could choose to engage or not. What I want to do is be like, hi, I'm here for you and I want to help you. It's like, I want to empower people. And that fills me up so much. And I love it. Even when I'm doing a simple haircut. I did one yesterday, and she's going out to Paris. This woman, she saved her money to take her and her 2 kids to Paris. She saved it for about 4 or 5 years.
Wow.
And she's doing it, right? Yes. And I was like, that. Yay. All right. I'm going to make you look French chic. We're going to cut your hair. We're gonna, and she's one that's always like, oh, who cares? No one's looking at me. And I'm like, it doesn't. No one has to be looking at you. You want to feel good and stand tall. So we're cutting your hair. You're going to look French chic, and you're going to feel great.
Well, and it reminds me of what you said about the woman on the cruise. That when she gave that feedback, that she felt so powerful. She felt so confident, so beautiful. I love that she didn't say, "I got so many looks. Other people were fawning over me. I was so impressive." Those were not the words she used. That I felt powerful. I felt confident. I felt comfortable. I felt energized. I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yes. I love that so much for her and for anyone that is doing all this for those reasons. Because, when you're younger, who's looking at us?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We all did it. Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think that's also human. And that's, you're going through the phases and you're discovering yourself.
It's all part of the exploration. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not going to lie. That was fun for me too.
Right. Well, and I think contrast is so important in human experience to be able to try one way, assess, okay, how did that feel? How conscious am I of some of the things that made me feel, some of the self-beliefs that maybe those brought into my life. And then, like you said, sometimes it's because we age or it's because we have a certain experience that then we try something else and go, actually maybe that felt better.
Yes.
And it's okay. It's actually important and even needed to have that contrast.
Oh gosh, absolutely.
If you're enjoying this episode of the Blissy Experience, please be sure to like and subscribe. We have new episodes every single week exploring all things getting your best sleep, beauty routines, sleep hygiene, and more. We also want to hear from you in the chat about what questions you have, what kind of guests you want to see on the show. We are absolutely very, very engaged with our community. We love getting that kind of feedback from you, and we absolutely listen. Also, if you are already a user and a lover of the Blissy Silk Pillowcase, you are part of our tribe. You know why it is so loved and so effective for all of these great benefits. But if you haven't had a chance to check it out yet, definitely be sure to. I'm telling you, it will change the way you sleep. It's going to change your hair. It can change your skin. So many awesome benefits. It's also great for gifting. I just want to throw this out there. The holidays are coming up. This makes a great gift for anyone in your life, for men, women, kid sizes. And also, I know in today's episode, we're talking a lot about beauty professionals. This is a great gift for a beauty professional. If you're a beauty professional, giving it to your clients, it's also something that could be great to sell in your salon as another revenue stream. So just keep all of those many uses in mind, and we'll come back to the show. I love that you have come up with this, I think, quite innovative concept of offering, kind of this beauty consulting to your clients. Let's just say someone is interested in, starting this journey, maybe on their own. Let's just say that they're not, quite ready to take the plunge of working with a professional like yourself yet. What are some maybe tips and tricks that you have for helping people to align their outer beauty expression with their inner?
Well, one thing that pops to mind is Pinterest. I use Pinterest.
Pinterest is my religion.
Yes. Get on there, create your boards for what I desire, my style that I desire, for the haircuts that I desire, the looks of makeup. Just do all these boards. Just do that. If you're not ready to work with me, which you should be, because it'll be great. It's easy. But if you can just get that Pinterest board, do the work. And that's the most important thing. You've got to do the work. I mentioned that earlier. Another thing, and Pinterest is like a vision board. So that's just a little digital vision board. But if you want to really get in there, I still love creating vision boards, scissors, magazines, glue sticks. Oh,
you still do? Like the physical vision board?
Yes,
I love that.
I love them. So it's like, do that and create your reality. And because you can breathe that into existence, you just have to see it and constantly see it and constantly see it. And then eventually, I don't know, it's just crazy. It just, all of a sudden you're there. All of a sudden you go to the store. I like to do a lot of secondhand shopping.
I love secondhand. Yeah.
You could go to a department store. You could go secondhand shopping. You're going to find whatever it is you put on that vision board. You are. If you're looking for certain styles, you are going to do it. It's crazy. I kind of have a problem collecting clothes because I do that a lot. Like I go into the secondhand store and I'm like, oh my gosh, that's what I wanted. I love it. It's a fun thing. And I even will do that for people who don't like to shop. I'll do the shopping for them. I will spend your money for you and make you look great. I love doing that. If I
must.
Yes, sure. You can take matters into your own hands. You could just be there sitting on the couch, scrolling through your phone, pinning everything. And I think that's the first step to empowerment.
Well, and I think it comes down to that awareness, right? I know when I create a vision board on Pinterest, suddenly the items that are on my vision board become salient, meaning I start to notice them. It's kind of like if somebody brings up, a Kia Optima, and then you start noticing over the next couple of weeks that you're seeing so many Kia Optimas. that's because it's now salient. And so
Yes.
you're noticing it a lot more. And I think that there's something so powerful about having, let's just say it's a certain type of, dress that you keep seeing showing up on your Pinterest board. Then when you go out shopping, I would imagine it's so much easier to be able to spot those things that align with that vision, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And then when you are more clear on, we could, I don't know, every month, every season, whatever, change up your style. If you're like, now I'm into the leather jackets now and I'm going to be cool looking like that, you could do that, So it's like nothing's concrete, but just whoever you want to show up as, you can do that. And if you know your body shape, your colors, that makes everything easier too. So
are there free online resources that people can start to kind of, dabble in if they don't know what their body type or colors are?
On my website, I actually have a page called Beauty Lab, and you go in there, you could find your skin tone or what matches your skin tone. And I got a lot of free tools on mindfulsoulandbeauty.com. And you go into the Beauty Lab, boom, check it out. You could even send me, there's free little quizzes on your skin type, figuring out how to take care of your skin, finding your signature style for your outfits. And so there are. And then if you exhaust that, then just Google it. There's so much. Even on Pinterest, there's so much that you can gather. It can get really overwhelming. That's why I created the Beauty Lab, so I could just have everything in one place. Because the beauty industry is oversaturated. All that stuff, there's a lot to it. And so especially if you're not experienced or it scares you, it's overwhelming. You're not going to want to dig into all that. So that's why I started creating on my website different pages to help women for all sorts of different things, even like essential oils, like everything that can kind of just make you feel good about yourself, and so, and that is my main goal. I love to motivate, inspire, and, give women that permission to feel wonderful and inspired. So,
well, and you mentioned overwhelm. One question that comes to my mind is, what do you advise when a woman, let's just say she's going through her Pinterest boards and she's creating all these vision boards and there's like this smorgasbord of different looks that it's like, oh my gosh, well, I like this look, but I also like this look. It's totally different. And I also love this one over here. Do you find that it's helpful to kind of hone in, narrow down on like a certain style? Do you recommend, hey, let's just say you have 5 different styles and you can do each of them on a different day? What would you advise for someone who feels overwhelmed by their own interests?
Yeah, that's a great question, because that would happen to me sometimes, because I love different looks, so it's like, I could get overwhelmed.
Yeah.
So one of the things I do ask women in their discovery call, or when they take a discovery survey online, is one of the questions is, which celebrity do you look up to when it comes to their style? Because there could be, so if someone's like, I love Princess Diana.
Right.
All right. So go onto your Pinterest and just focus on that one celebrity. Because for the most part, they all have their one look. So it could be obviously Princess Diana in the 80s. That's the look that I love and that's what I want to go for. Then you focus just on that.
Right.
And
because
so
she has a whole wardrobe. It's not just one outfit.
Yes.
Yeah. That she
Yes.
probably had stylists,
Yes.
develop an entire wardrobe. That's a great idea.
So that's just, a lot of times I ask even clients that when it comes to, they want a whole new hairstyle. Who do you look up to? Because a lot of times people will look up to somebody that they can identify with on some level. So there are some similarities. So then it's easier to dress them or to get that haircut for them that looks, similar to that celebrity. So that's the first thing I would do. And then I break it down into, because I have one client, she's kind of that way as far as there's a lot of looks that she likes. So then here's the cool hotshot woman going to a meeting, because she does a lot of meetings. Here's your board for that. And then just focus on that. Then you want, okay, so when I'm out with the girls brunching, here's that, so you just kind of break it down.
By lifestyle, right?
Yes.
By kind of like, what are the types of activities that you go through in your, let's just say, day-to-day or week-to-week life.
Yes.
And then have a wardrobe for that. I love that.
Even workout, or even, leisure outfits, that became a huge thing because that's all we were doing. And that's what I was saying, like during the pandemic, telling women, even if it's a cute little jogger outfit, like brush your hair, be cute, have your, monochrome outfit on and just show up. Put lip gloss on. You don't have to do your whole face, but just whatever makes you feel good, do it. And I had a friend of mine, actually, she was like, I did it. And you're right. I feel great. And I said, yes, I know. Because, if you feel, there's days where it's even difficult for me. And I go, no, practice what you preach. Wake up and do it. I mean, it is tough sometimes. And even if that is putting on tinted moisturizer and then a cute outfit and I'm good.
Sometimes for me, it's washing my face. I just know that I feel more fresh after washing my face. And I always know that I'm going to feel better throughout the day if I just start there.
Yeah, it's true. And it's also that self-care is about loving yourself. And it's tough because I think everybody gets into, we're down a little bit, and it's tough. Everybody, that's human nature. We have our moments. But just taking care of yourself, having that self-care, if that means washing your face that day, you're going to feel a little bit better. If that means having your cup of coffee in the morning, have your cup of coffee. You got to engage in that self-care because everything else follows, because we can tell. I mean, I've had friends who've gone through really bad depression and to shower is even really tough.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, okay, what's going to make you feel good. Just force yourself, get in that shower and it will not cure that, but it will make you feel better. So
I love that. Just taking it day by day and whatever you need, to do for your own self-care and whatever that looks like today is what matters.
Yes, absolutely. Just being present with where you are right now and the place that you're in. Just be present.
Yeah. Let's talk more about kind of, morning routines, night routines, and specifically as it pertains to getting sleep. I know that sleep has a lot to do with, of course, the way we feel, but also the way that our skin is able to, live its best life, kind of be its healthiest, be hydrated. So what are your philosophies on kind of your sleep hygiene and that routine to set yourself up to feel your most beautiful?
Well, yes, washing the face is number one. You always have to take off whatever it is. Even if you didn't wear makeup that day, just go ahead and wash your face. I mean, the daily elements, whatever, you want.
There's stuff on there.
You want to feel fresh. And it's just, I even believe in just taking a few deep breaths, especially, after a long day. There's something about taking breaths that change everything. Just
powerful.
Slows it down. Washing your face, using a toner, getting serum, moisturizer. I do the whole, oh my gosh, I am like a hoarder of beauty products. Plus, I say, this is research, so I'm telling you what works and what doesn't work. So, I do it. I am religious with that. Now, if I'm too tired, I will cut out, everything and just wash my face and put on moisturizer, call it a day.
Yeah.
But when I'm really in for it, I'm just like, wash my face, tone, serum, moisturizer, and brushing your teeth. That's a big one, And then I'm not always so perfect with this, but when I remember, I always try to set the intention for the next day. I do give gratitude for the day that I had, even if it felt bad. There's still little gems in there. I try to do that with my daughter. What were 3 things that were good today? You could have a bad day, but there's 3 things like, the line at Starbucks was short. You know what I mean? Like, that's a win.
The little things.
Yeah. And it really does. Even just talking about that, talking about gratitude, it just makes you feel light. Like right here, I just feel like weight is lifted when you have gratitude. And I feel like gratitude shows on your face. You have that gratitude, you have that sparkle in your eye, and you'll feel great. I am guilty of scrolling on my phone before bed, and I know I'm not supposed to, but I can't help it. I'll be like, what do I have to do tomorrow?
You are not alone.
Yeah. I mean, that's the one thing I always read. I'm like, I know we're not supposed to. I can't help it. Oh, I have my blue blocker glasses on. Is that
hey, these baby steps matter.
Oh, yeah, but it's like I get caught up in it because I'm like, I love to also, before I go to bed, is just check what's going on the next day, just so I'm prepared. I also mentally in my head visualize what I'm wearing the next day. That makes life so much easier too. So it's like, okay, wash my face, brush my teeth, brush my hair, and then give gratitude, think of the great things of the day, set the intention for the next day, and what you're going to wear the next day. And it's so funny the way that I am. I literally have to visualize it. And then if I feel good, I'm like, yep, that's the outfit for tomorrow. Okay, I'm having an interview tomorrow. What's that going to look like? Oh, okay. Yes, I know what I'm going to wear.
Right.
Yes. And I feel it in here and I'm like, oh yeah, I'm going to feel great. I'm going to wear that. And then that's when I get caught up in my phone because I'm looking at, and then what do I do tomorrow? And then next thing you know.
And then you're on your phone and then you get sucked in.
How did I get on Instagram? I was looking at my calendar, you know? So that's a work in progress.
Well, and I think that's the point is that it's progress. It's not about being perfect.
Yes.
You know, you just listed this beautiful night routine, you know, and of course we all have things in our day, whatever part of our day it is that we're like, oh, you know, that's something that I want to do more of or do less of.
Yes.
But, you know, looking at it in terms of, okay, but here are all the things that I feel great about that I'm doing or that I'm not doing. You know, I think there's so much power and momentum that can come from that, and that it's really not about that perfectionism, just like in beauty, right?
Right. Yes. And actually, it's kind of fun. Imagine if you did everything perfectly. What do you have to strive for?
Right, boring.
That's it. Done. End game. So that is great that you say that because it's so true. It's actually fun, at least for me. I'm one of those self-help, self-care people. I love digging in. Okay, now what can I add or what can I eliminate from my nightly routine? Okay, well, I didn't do this last night. Yeah. Okay, tonight I can attempt to do that again. And if I don't, it's okay. Just be kind to yourself and yeah.
So let's just say after all that, your night routine, you know, let's talk about sleep. How important is sleep to look and feel your best?
Oh gosh, that you can tell when someone hasn't slept.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'll throw my husband under the bus for a second, but I'll redeem him. This guy, he used to snore all the time and I did not get any sleep. I would get angry. I was like, I can't sleep. And so then I would wake up angry, you know. He did end up getting that fixed. So now, sound sleep. So now I'm happier.
Oh, yeah.
Happy wife, happy life, right? So we're all good now. But, oh no, you can tell when someone doesn't get enough sleep. It is so important to me. I'm telling you, I would literally beat him up because I was like, I need to sleep.
Well, sleep really is. I mean, it's not just an attitude problem you were having. I mean, that is very real. If I don't have good sleep, I am so irritable. I mean, I am not able to function the same way. And it sets everything up for failure for the next day.
Oh, gosh. Does it ever? Because then you're just dragging and then you are using all these artificial things to keep you awake. And I've been guilty of that because it's like I get so busy. I got to go. And I caught up on the phone. And next thing you know, it's 1 a.m. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm going to look like hell tomorrow. You know? But you can see it a lot of times, under the eyes is where we really see it. And so, those little eye patches are a lifesaver.
The little kind of silicone under the eye. Those are awesome. I also have, just an eye cream that I notice sometimes my eye cream that I use has a little caffeine in it. So it's not caffeine that goes deep enough that it's in your bloodstream, but, just that those tiny little, cells that are right under your eye just to be able to kind of, help with the diuretic that the caffeine, does to kind of pull some of that fluid out, because the under eye bags are real. What else? How else does sleep typically impact, let's just say, our face, our skin?
Well, you can actually get deeper lines, because I do feel like if you have lack of sleep, your body isn't able to regenerate the cells. So you need that sleep. I mean, when we go to sleep, our body, it's still working, but it's working to regenerate, give us new cells so we can wake up refreshed. It's just amazing how I'm sure you've seen yourself in the morning with lack of sleep, and then when you've had enough sleep, it's just that's night and day.
Literally a night and day difference. Yeah, just the plumpness, the vibrancy of my skin, and I think collagen production, like you were saying, our body can only do so much if we're not giving it enough sleep. So to be able to have those restorative, regenerative hours to, quite literally produce things like collagens, proteins, things in our body to be able to help filter out the toxins that we're encountering. I 100% notice a difference, not only if I get bad sleep for one night, but especially we've all been through those phases of life that are sometimes totally necessary, where we're not getting good sleep for like months on end for whatever reasons. And it really starts to add up. It really, really does on our skin, on our spirit, on our energy. Really, it's such a gift we can give ourselves, I think, to be able to just have a good night's sleep.
Sleep sounds so good right now.
Nap time break.
Whew, yeah. No, I love my sleep. I used to, it's funny, as a little kid, you try to fight it as much as you can because you don't want to miss out anything. Now I'm like, I don't care. I am going to sleep. It's 9 p.m. I'm going to try to get myself.
Consider me missing out.
Yeah, exactly. I'm okay with it. It's so important. And I feel like it does help. You mentioned hydration. You want to be able to sleep and restore everything. So it's like, it's from head to toe. And then your spirit, like you said, come on. Nobody is fun when they didn't have enough sleep.
Right. Well, let's speak about that. How, you talk so much about, outer beauty expression and inner beauty or authenticity. When we don't get enough sleep, how does that impact the personality side of things?
Oh, I'll say if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be like, ugh, everything sucks. Who cares? I don't feel grateful. Grateful for what? It's so weird when you have lack of sleep. It's almost like you can't fake your brain out to saying like life is good. No, sleep is so imperative. Like, come on. So, I just think like it's so important to get that sleep because you are not going to be a joy to be around. And you don't want to do anything. You're just like, you're dragging, and everything is an extra effort when it doesn't have to be.
Yeah.
So when you wake up refreshed and great, the birds are singing, you feel wonderful and you could get on with your day. But boy, it's crazy with lack of sleep. It is. And I can say this, like it probably was recently where I didn't have a good night's sleep. And I think it's because I was sick. And that's another thing to it. But man, not having that sleep. And I just felt horrible and grumpy and stay away from me. I'm going to say things I don't mean, but it's, but it's just like this. It's almost like this film over you and you just feel icky the whole day.
Oh, it's awful. I hate it. Like I absolutely hate being low on sleep. And I love that it's become more okay, I feel like, in society. Not that we should have ever needed permission to meet our basic human needs, but here we are. That the busyness, the hustle culture, has really infiltrated us, probably all of us at some point. And, I love that now I personally don't shy away from needing more sleep. I personally don't shy away from being like, you know what, like I love 9 hours of sleep. I really do. I don't always get 9 hours of sleep. Sometimes I get 10 hours of sleep. And I feel like even just a few years ago, that would have been like, oh my gosh, do you not have a life? Or like, what's wrong with you? That's way too much. And it's not. It's really, really not, to just be able to, to your point about empowerment, and stepping into your own truth. I think claiming that time to ourselves is one of the most powerful things that we can do.
Yes. And listening to yourself, giving yourself that permission to rest is huge. I had to do that last week. I am one of those people that, I think it's because I'm a Capricorn. It's all about ambition and work. That's just. So lately I've been learning to say no to things, to know when to rest. I had a crazy week, and coming around to a Sunday, you want to kind of do nothing, relax, but I have a commitment every single Sunday. No matter how tired I was, how hard I worked, I have to get to that thing in the evening. And I was like, no, I can't. And you know what? Life went on.
Right.
For a minute, I felt like, oh, I'm letting my team down. Oh, and I thought, no, it's okay, because then I'm not bringing my best self.
I was going to say, your team relies on you to, be at your best.
Yes. Yeah. It's a all women's improv group. So you kind of have to be on it. You have to be on it, and we have to play together, and we have to respect each other. If I didn't have enough sleep and I'm just run down, I burnt the candle at both ends, and I'm like, no, I need to stop. They will not like me anymore if I show up, because I am not going to be a joy. But I knew I gave myself that permission. They didn't 86 me from the group,
right.
They didn't. They're like, okay, they get it.
Yeah.
And as long as
we all need that sometimes.
Yes, give yourself permission to rest. And that doesn't mean you have to go to sleep. I didn't go to sleep per se. It's not like I was like, okay, now I'm going to sleep. No, it felt good just to be there on my sofa, mindlessly doing nothing. Even if it was scrolling the TV or even like my phone, I felt relaxed. I didn't have to be anywhere. I was just horizontal. I'm just like, this is what I needed. And I actually felt rejuvenated, and it felt so empowered. On Monday when I woke up, wow, I felt, okay, I'm ready again.
Yeah.
Let me go get that candle. I'm burning it again. No, but I do love to work, but I have to have that balance.
Yeah, we all do. Yeah, and I think, it comes down to prioritizing what matters to us, our sleep, to the point of this entire episode, prioritizing the way that we feel, the way that we express ourselves to the world, the way we show up in our truth. If you had one key takeaway that you wanted to leave our audience with today, what would it be?
A key takeaway. Just give yourself permission to be authentically you. Just be yourself, no matter what that looks like. You don't need permission from anybody else, because once you do that, you'll know, and you're going to feel amazing. And everything else after that falls into place.
Beautiful. Where can we find you online?
You can go to Instagram at Lea the Beauty Artist, and that's Lea. There's no H in there. And then you could also go to my website, mindfulsoulandbeauty.com.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Lea. This has been such a beautiful conversation in so many ways. We're so grateful that you joined us for this episode. Those of you at home, be sure to like and subscribe so that you can check out every new episode of the Blissy Experience. They come out every single week. And of course, we dive deeper into your best sleep experience and all things wellness, beauty, and more. Be sure to let us know in the chat if you have any guests in mind or types of topics that you'd like to cover. We absolutely would love to hear from you. And again, if you haven't had a chance yet, be sure to check out a Blissy silk pillowcase. It's such a beautiful game changer for your hair, your skin, your sleep, and yourself. Thank you for joining us. I'm your host, Ariana, and we'll see you on the next episode of the Blissy Experience.